You're watching Talking Points, a focus on the political scene in Lubbock and across the South Plains.
Welcome back to Talking Points, and a very special welcome back to the thousands of Red Raiders who are now back on campus this year, bringing its own unique share of excitements and challenges for Texas Tech. On the upside, President Lawrence Skuvanek says this is yet again the biggest first-year class they've ever had. On the downside, they need to make sure that those students take as many credit hours as possible, because this is the year that will determine how much money they get for the next 2 years. On another upside, COVID is hardly on their minds anymore after 2 years of altered learning. On the downside, there's new questions and concerns about monkeypox possibly coming to campus. But through it all, the president says that competition for the best talent is tougher than ever this year. So he's focused on providing the best student experience possible with a mostly flat budget. We asked President Skuvanek about what he thinks draws students to campus. Here's what he said.
I was talking to an advisor last week, and she told me when she asked students, why did you choose to come to Tech, when they had multiple choices. I think you're a UT grad, right?
I was hoping you forgot that, but yes.
They say, we got a better deal at Tech. It is with so much competition for students now, being able to support those students is essential.
His dig on my alma mater aside, Texas Tech has made progress on those goals in recent years. Just last year, students received $200 million in scholarships, which the president says is making their lives easier after graduation. The average college debt for Red Raiders is down $5,000 since 3 years ago, now at $31,000 on average. And the percent of those who graduate with any debt at all, also down 5% to 56%. But more still, the university is investing millions into on-campus renovations. They're using $72 million of recent state funds to improve science buildings and labs, showing that they're focused on recruiting the top talent, not just to the football field, but to the chemistry classroom.
The students will be in classrooms and laboratories that are radically different from what was there before. They'll see state-of-the-art facilities. It's what they deserve and what they need. So it'll be readily apparent that there's been work done there. And I think it will enhance the learning experience for those students. And it's also going to improve research facilities for faculty as well.
So the finances seem to be doing just fine, but there are some social and political issues that are giving Texas Tech some more challenges. As Texas officially bans almost all abortions this week with our trigger bill, some Texas universities are reconsidering what kind of advice and services that they're allowed to give to students on their on-campus health clinics. The question of student reproductive health is new territory after the end of Roe v. Wade, and it's a question that Texas Tech is still asking.
We will always abide by the laws. But I believe when students come and seek advice, I think they're still sorting out exactly what we can and cannot recommend. And so it would probably be irresponsible for me to start conjecturing exactly how some of those discussions will take place, but you have to recognize that it's an issue. And I think many institutions in states around the country are still finding their way as to how to deal with that.
Sure thing.
So I'm not trying to be evasive or coy here. It's just that this is a relatively new issue that we're still finding our way with.
Well, speaking of the Texas legislature, the president may still be unsure how to respond to some of their previous legislation there, but he is certain what he wants to see in the session to come. We spoke about the outlook for higher education funding and even the possibility of new funds, including a future change to the long-criticized Permanent University Fund.
It'll be very interesting to watch the work of Senator Perry and Chairman Burrows as they lead that discussion on possibly new funding. The governor has alluded to $1 billion endowment. Senator Perry has laid out other plans that might benefit many universities with additional funding that I think addresses some of the scrutiny that's being applied to the PUF. I think that's an issue of equity across this state. How do you benefit as many students as possible?
Well, we'll see what happens there. For now, stick around. We're coming right back with a look at the week in local politics.